you guys doing? Welcome to the show. It is the Independent Ryderz, baby. Oh, yeah. We're going to have some fun over here today. We got some Throttle Club members. If you don't know what a Throttle Club member is, you can join by just hitting that join button on the channel. Great stuff today. We're going to be talking about the corporate takeover of motorcycle rallies. And my guest today is Gray Star, J-Man. We got Dark Soul and Bedlam, man. He's the one with the sassy face on everything over here, man. You got to liven up. No, I'm just kidding. How you doing, guys?
Doing well, man.
Doing real good.
Good. Rock and roll, man. So we're going to get right into our subject, and we're supposed to have freaking Bride a Biker on here, but I haven't seen him yet. I see him in the damn chat room, but anyway, we're going to be talking about the corporate takeover of the motorcycle rallies and how that has really changed everything when it comes to having fun at the rallies. Prime examples could be Daytona, Sturgis, Laconia, where they put in these rules where it's more PC than it used to be. Meaning, when these rallies, especially Sturgis, got going, it was nothing but fun. It was nothing but a wild-ass party. And now you can't show the boobies. You can't go around. Remember the old days? You used to see the video of everybody naked riding around on the scooters. And it just ain't like that anymore. And I believe it's because of the corporate takeover. It's became more of a money deal than about the lifestyle. And one of the reasons why I decided to start the Rumble in the Woods for the Throttle members was I wanted to be able to do something where it was old school, cut loose, have fun, and people not having a bunch of money flying out of their wallets. So my first question would be to Bedlam. What is your thoughts on this subject, man? You've been around just like the rest of our panel's been around for a while. What change have you seen in the rally scene, say, over the last 30 years?
Over the last 30 years, it's just credit cards, man. It's your basic, big money person going out, buying a bike, getting all the Harley gear, like everybody says, and just going to these rallies, spending a ton of money. That's what I look at it. I mean, as far as that goes, I'm used to the regular smaller rallies and poker runs and so forth. That's what I go to. I don't try to go to any of these big ones anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just pointless. You're spending way too much.
What about you, Dark? So he just brought up the little poker runs and the little rallies. Do you think people have a lot more fun at them type of events than the bigger ones?
Yeah, it is. To me, I like the smaller ones. Now, only time I really went to the big ones is if there was a concert I wanted to see. Other than that, like I'm Johnstown. You got Thunder in the Valley. It's so PC, family oriented. It's ridiculous compared to what was 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And, we have Bry the Biker, by the way, guys, joining us. He is a host on the pre-party. Go ahead, Dark Soul.
Yeah, I like the poker runs. Even with the poker runs, they're getting pretty big, but they're mostly for charity. And I really like to do that because it's actually going to a good cause. Through the years and stuff, you've seen these rallies, and it goes by supply and demand, and then you got the government coming in, getting their little piece of the pie, and trying to get a piece of it. And there's where the problem lies, because it lines their pocketbooks up to have more cops, other things, fix the roads. That's one thing. It's my big key on that stuff. Having the roads good enough for us to ride.
Right. Somebody, we have feedback. If you're watching the show, make sure you're muted on the phone. J-Man, J-Man. You've been around the scene a long, long time. You can tell by your gray in that beard too, man. And by the way, J-Man does have a channel. He's going to be helping Insane Throttle Biker News out with doing some new stuff on his channel. So don't forget to go over there and join. China Dollar put the link to his channel in the channel comments box right here on YouTube. What is your thoughts?
Well, it all boils down to this right here is why it's so PC. If you want alcohol there, they want you to draw the line and walk it, because alcohol is big business, and that's basically alcohol is the #1 supporter of rallies, those big rallies. You go to the smaller rallies, alcohol is not everywhere, you know. There's 2 or 3 beer trucks, you know. You go to the rallies down Daytona, you walk two blocks and there's 15 bars.
Yeah.
It's
What do
all
you
about
think?
alcohol.
What do you think about the taxes on the vendors, Gray Star and Bry? The taxes in Sturgis, it reminds me of that one. If you guys were too young to watch this, it was kind of funny. But Popeye with Robin Williams, as soon as he steps off the ocean, there's a tax man there. That's what Sturgis reminds me of with the numbers.
My version, or my the way I look at Sturgis now is it's a Rubs Disneyland. Rich urban bikers buy everything they need to look the part, trailer their stuff up to Sturgis, and party for a week or two. And J-Man's right. It's all about the money. That's all it is.
Do you think, Bry, that it was the rich urban biker? Now, I always say it started in 1994 because before then, you were able to get whatever you wanted. The bikes were cheaper, but in 94 is when Harley Davidson started going towards that segment of the market. And they're doing what they are doing today, where you can hardly see any brand new bikes on the showroom floor. They affected the supply and demand of their product. You know, if there's more demand, then they can go higher in price. And plus, they're pushing their CVO line. Do you think that has had an effect on the rallies because they're right out there trying to get that tax money, and the rich urban biker are the ones that pushed it this way? That's for you, Brian.
I think that
Go ahead.
You're muted, bro.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I think, unfortunately, with Harley, it's like anything, right? It's a company, and they have to report to their board members, and they're going after what's going to make them money.
Right.
Agree with it or not, but it's definitely changed the market. I mean, if you go into a Harley dealership now, it's, you know, like you said, it's a bunch of doctors and lawyers, and they want the CVOs, and that's what they're marketing to. You see that? I saw the limited edition Road Glide that they have out. Sorry, Street Glide with the special paint, the 1 of 500. You can't tell me that's going for the everyday biker at 40 grand. At least that's what the dealer was asking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Dark Soul, do you think it's that segment that is now majority? Do you think that's where they got a lot of these rules passed, where they wanted to tame the rallies down instead of what it used to be like?
Yeah, I agree. I do. The whole agenda. I'll just use Sturgis as an example. I mean, I'm a truck driver, and 3 years after he got into trucking, I was 23 years old. I was able to go to Sturgis for the first time. I had to deliver a load there, and the party was pretty crazy and wild. Me and J-Man were talking about it earlier, stuff about Daytona. Daytona was crazy, you know, back in the day. Yeah, and you had a blast. Now you walk down 5 speed and you'll get frisked. without no reasonable, plausible cause. I mean, just look what happened over COVID. The shutdowns and stuff. I hate to say it, we have pretty much let it go, and it's our own fault, really, letting it happen. Through the years, like I was saying, supply and demand. As more and more people show up, you got to have more vendors to feed, drink, supply, to keep it going. And basically, we're part of the problem, but at the same time, we get able to fix it if we wanted to.
Do you think Bedlam that it went from being a good time partying? What do you think the ones that actually started this out, like the Jack Pine Gypsies, think about how it's become all commercialized?
I think after a certain number of, once you get to a certain extent of people that attend these rallies, so like you hit over 10,000. Before that, it's all happy-go-lucky. Everybody's having a good time, But once you hit a mark at some of these smaller rallies, like there was one that I usually attend quite often, but I'm not going to mention it right now. But 4 years ago, it didn't have a 10,000 mark. But now that it hit, you can Google just rallies, some of the big ones, and now it's listed as one of the top 10 because it serves over 10,000 people. So it's all about the money, the amount of people that come in, and that's it. In some of these rallies, even the smaller ones that do just only hit 10,000, you still get that little bit of old school environment, but you don't get a lot of it. Because, like Jamin said earlier, you start getting more police there, more security, and, it just starts getting all PC related, which really
that's a good point, because my boy Big Smitty, if you guys haven't gone and seen his channel, you got to see his stuff. He's one of my favorite channels. But he says all rallies are excuses for the police to harass and profile bikers. J-Man, do you believe that to be the case?
Well, of course. You rev your motor up, they're hassling you. You do a wheelie in a back alley, you got 10 of them on you. It's crazy.
Do you, Grace Gar, what do you think? Because I know in Daytona, the last time I was down in Daytona was years ago for the Daytona Bike Week, but they actually had it to where they'd measure your handlebars.
Yeah, definitely. Big Smitty's totally right. They have since turned these motorcycle rallies into a profiling heaven.
I think, they've been doing that for a few years now, I'm pretty sure. As far as anything over 16 inches, isn't it?
Anything
past the shoulder. Yeah, they've been doing that for a few years.
What if you're almost 7 foot tall? You got a 17 inch or 18 inch rise. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm not 7 feet tall.
Don't have any problem there, I'm sure.
Now, Bri, this is your neck of the woods. The Rumble on the Shore. The officials out there, because they claimed it was MC related, they canceled the rally and people still show up. What was the police presence like at the Rumble at the Shore?
It was pretty heavy from what I recall. But I know that the vendors were complaining because that whole industry, that whole area lost their business.
Yep.
It just became they said, it became an excuse to profile. New Hope, which is a big biker area in Pennsylvania, same thing. They're measuring pipes, they're measuring bars, they're doing everything, and the businesses are complaining because they're running the business, they're running the people that are coming to spend money at those businesses out, which I think sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think COVID's playing a part of that?
What's that?
Do you think COVID's playing a part of that?
No, I don't know. I don't know how it was there, but like in Jersey and PA, nobody stopped riding. I mean, it was rider heaven because there weren't any cops out, so you could just run. I think we, you know, as we get back to normal, I don't know how it's going to be. I was disappointed that they canceled Wildwood for sure.
Do you think they'll ever bring it back?
I hope so, because I think the excuse that I heard was they were worried about the pagans. That's at least the headline that I saw. That was the people that they put in the pictures. They were complaining about there was too much, you know, motorcycle club activity.
Right.
I hope they bring it back. I think it's silly that we're, you know, I see the same groups.
I feel like the authorities use that excuse for every one of them, even Sturgis.
Yeah.
Bedlam.
I was going to say that sounds like an excuse to me, you know, as far as, you know, state government rules, whatever, because there's plenty of times where you end up at a rally, you know, and I know we weren't going to go there tonight with the MC stuff, but yeah, their clubs do show up, you know, and it depends on where you're at. And sometimes, like if you go to a private property rally, you know, and attend one of those, sometimes they will not let you allow colors there, you know, which is fine. And, you know, you can tell who's part of what, but you still go and have a damn good time, you know. I mean, I've done it numerous occasions. So it just sounds like that's a state issue, a profiling issue that they're wanting to use to stop, you know, an event happening. That's what that is, Brian. You know, and that's the way I look at that. You know?
Now with Dark Soul, you brought up, and that's a good thing right there, Bedlam. Dark Soul brought up a case in Sturgis, and the first thing that comes to my mind with Sturgis and how greedy they really are was they tried to annex the Jack Pine Gypsies property into Sturgis because they're unincorporated right now. And mind you, this is the Jack Pine Gypsies, you know, the big race club that really got Sturgis on its feet. And Sturgis already makes millions upon millions of dollars on this rally. And by the way, if you're a Sturgis resident and you're paying any taxes in that city, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
But it seems like Sturgis, they clamped onto that money source, and now they're getting greedier and greedier.
Don't they use Sturgis as their main money maker for the rest of the year, just for those 2 weeks?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
What case were you talking about that you said?
It's not only, I'm sorry, Hollywood. It's not even just those 2 weeks, because people will go 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after, and it's still going on for almost a month. Just not only just those, you know, not just those 2 weeks alone.
I've heard.
So they're actually making a lot.
I've heard it's gotten so crowded at Sturgis now that the rides are almost impossible to do, and you get on curves and you have to go so slow that people are falling off their bikes and everything. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, Florence, I think that's Flossie from UK. Bikers should do their own smaller rallies on private land. And I agree 100%. We have Adam Sandoval that does it on his campground. We got the Freedom Rally in Algonia, Iowa, where Abe puts that on. I'll be at that this coming year. We're going to have a creator roundup. So if you're a creator and want to be a part of this roundup in Algonia, let me know. China Doll's all wet because, you know, we have, what's his name coming?
Trace Atkins.
Trace Atkins is going to be there. So she's all
Jesus.
Oh, my goodness.
Cool.
So
put the wife on the back of the bike and head out that way.
There you go. But Dark Soul sent me a case, and I'm going to let him explain that case a little bit, and it had to deal with Sturgis. And it's funny when you look at the amount of money that bikers bring in, and the way they treat us, it's amazing. Go ahead, Dark Soul.
What it is it was the Chamber of Commerce suing Sturgis Bike Rally Incorporated, along with the Sturgis Racing Incorporated, and like you said, dealing with the Black Gypsies. It came down to really boiled down the money part of it. The board of panels was all volunteer, no money involved as far as the Chamber of Commerce. and then as it started getting bigger and bigger, it ended up where they started wanting more of the pie, and they filed a lawsuit. Well, they end up winning. Chamber of Commerce is, I hate to put it that way, they help business in ways and everything, but at the same time, they are part of the government strong arm in one way or another.
Right.
Well, that can go into Leslie's question. Is it all about money where a rally can be held? It seems like it almost is that.
I think it is, Leslie.
It is, Leslie. I believe me. Like I went back to say, it's about supply and demand. As more and more people show up, you got to bring in more vendors to compensate for it and stuff, and everybody's getting fees. You got to realize some of those vendors that are on trailers and stuff, that's their livelihood that they depend on.
They go through different rallies all across the states.
They travel the rallies and stuff. You got your leather shops, some of your tattoo artists. They travel the scene, to get a piece of that pie, and it also puts them out there. I mean, I'm not a very big person. I just started my TikTok a few years back, and most of my stuff's just doing motorcycle riding and just showing some of the scenery around what I rode.
Right. So
I got friends that ride.
You mentioned money. Sturgis and these rallies are not the only place where motorcyclists make money for charities and stuff.
Oh, no.
You're constantly doing like Toys for Tots. Anytime there's a children's problem at a children's hospital, bikers are there. When a biker dies, the local scene usually gets together and does a final ride for that person and gather up funds to help the family out. I mean,
well, that's going towards the because the biker community is one of the biggest charity type lifestyles around. But getting away from, say, Sturgis and Daytona Bedlam, there's one actual rally that I would love to attend, and that's Hog Rock. Tell us about Hog Rock, because you've been there.
Yeah, that event is old school. Okay, Hog Rock is what you would expect at a rally. No A-bait, no clubs. It's its own thing. You get bands for the 4 days. You pay, you're paying your charge to get in. It's just one big ass wild party. I mean, you still get your trail, people trailering their bikes in. A lot of guys ride in. You got guys, doing the RV thing, but and bring their bikes in. But it's a story on its own. Let's just say you'd have to actually experience it to appreciate
Where
it.
is that held at?
By the way, before we get into where it's held at, immediately after this show, myself and China Dow will be over in general voice chat on Discord. She'll put the link in the comment section for you guys to go over there. But yeah, where Bedlam is Hog Rock at?
That it's oh hell. I want to say southeast of Illinois on the borderline, the border. Shit, I can't. If you Google, you can actually look up their website, hogrock.com, and it'll shoot you right there. But yeah, that's like that's one of the first rallies biker rallies that I went to, and I tried to go every year. At least once, and they hold it twice a year.
In the 1990s, it was real big with the Easy Rider rodeos. Now, I know they still have Chillicothe and stuff out west, but they used to make a stop in Illinois at Morris, and that was an old school rally back in the 90s, and I'm wondering, how is the Easy Rally, say, at Chillicothe, J-Man? Is it the same, or are they following suit with, getting the PC stuff?
The Chillicothe rally is Easy Rider all the way, and it's a hell of a party. It's old school still. There's also the hill climb in Oregonia. They have once a year. That's another killer, or killer party. So Yeah, there's those two are still the old school biker parties if you want to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Out here in Utah, they used to call the hill climbing the Widowmaker.
Oh my God, I love the old hill climbs, man. I really do.
Yeah.
What rallies are around you, Dark, so that you would recommend?
Gettysburg, definitely Gettysburg. Johnstown used to be a good thing, but it's more family oriented now. Unless you know some people, there's some private land that you can go to. Just like Bedham said, you pay a little fee and stuff. You camp out there, but don't leave the property because the cops will be out there waiting for you. You know, if you've been drinking and whatever. So, but yeah, I think Gettysburg is one of my favorites to go to. You got a little bit of history there. I'm a history buff, just like you, Hollywood. I love history, and it teaches you a lot. Try not to make the same mistakes, but it seems like we're making them again. But that's another subject. I went to the last ride there in Washington, D.C. Over 500,000 bikes showed up. And I'm going to tell you, you talk about cop presence, they had cameras everywhere around that Pentagon, basically looking. They had 3 surveillance trailers there, basically looking over that rally before the ride even started. And as far as vendors go, that was one of the rides that I barely saw any vendors. It was one little tiny strip, maybe 15 tents altogether. That's as far as commercial wise. And I understand the reason why they don't do it no more is because the permits and stuff that they charge. And this is about the veterans, the ones that have actually served our country and went through hell and back to give us our freedoms. And, you know, and the way they treat it that way, you know, it's a shame the way it happened, but it happened. You know,
Yeah, that was all political. That was a political issue there. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Ocean City, Maryland, with the COVID, they canceled that, but I still went. My guys, we all still went. And as far as vendors go and everything, they had a little section for it. But as far as the turnout goes, people showed up still. You know, we did.
Well, I want to take everybody on this question, and Dark, so I'll let you continue when we get back to you. But I want to go around the table, starting with Gray Star and J-Man, Bry, Dark Soul, and Bedlam. What do you look for when you're deciding to go to a rally? Gray Star.
Who's hosting it? Well, actually, I gotta say what clubs are around there, what dominance in the area, just because that's how I am. Basically, how far it is, time, when it is. There's a lot of things that go into factor. Like this last summer, I went to Runamukka in Winnemucca, Nevada, and wife and I had a blast, but it's really small. There wasn't really a lot of cops presence there. There was some because it's a small town, but nothing extra. Highly recommended for next year. If anybody's in my neck of the woods want to go, let me know. That's all I got. J-Man?
I go to Ohio Bike Week just about every year. It's a hell of a time. I mean, it's PC oriented and family oriented, but it's still a hell of a time. And like you said, the cost, it's so close to me, you know, it's 6 hours away. So yeah, that's one thing. I've been to Daytona several times. I've been to Biketoberfest several times. I've never been to Sturgis, but I'd rather go to the Easy Rider video or to the Easy Rider rodeo. But me and the wife would go to Ohio Bike Week before the Easy Rider video or rodeo. You know what I mean?
What about you, Bri?
I would say, you know, who's going to be there? Time obviously is available. Location, and then you know, for me it would be for I'm a parts guy, but you know, for vendors and entertainment. But the cost is huge. I mean, it's crazy what some of these places, even just to stay, are becoming. Unless you have an RV, and even then you're paying front end versus back end.
Right. Dark. So, I think you were talking about the Gettysburg one. What's so special about the Gettysburg one? Besides, you know what, that is on my bucket list to go.
Yeah, I need to get there and meet up with you, Dark Soul.
Yeah, Gettysburg is right by the Eisenhower Hotel on a big field, and it's basically gated off. You pay to get in. You get a wristband. We were in a room there at the Eisenhower Hotel. That's where the live party is, because everybody tried to get the room by the pool, because that's where it kind of goes crazy. They got the games. As far as planning my trips and stuff like that, I got a group of guys I ride with, and we try to put our money in a pool together to make things cheaper, and we plan it way ahead. Prime example, Rumble in the Woods. You gave a head up notice. I put my time in for it, and I started putting the money away. And you saw me load, and I took a picture of my bike all loaded up. It's on TikTok, and I'll take the trip. Bedlam, I'm hooking up with you in October, man. Looking forward to that one. Yeah,
You got it.
So there's a few others this coming year. Roundhouse Harley Davidson here in Altoona, they throw one every month, and also a bunch of the charity rides here. Bikers for Barkers is another one. It goes out to good cause. I stay pretty active. It makes it a lot easier since I'm found a job local where I could be able to go to some of these.
Cool. What about you, Bedlam? Which kind of, where have you been? Where do you go? And what factors?
Well, I don't try to go to the big. I mean, it's like a bucket list. I'd love to attend every one of those big events, Daytona, Sturgis, so forth. But to me, it's just a money eater. I'd rather, and you're not going to really have a good time in my eyes. I could have a better time on 4 days listening to local bands at regular rallies, and seeing the flesh dance around and every damn thing else. And everybody having a blast. But, I'd rather stick to the smaller venues, because you get a better class of biker. Old school style bikers, okay? That's the way I look at it. The guys that, you can learn shit from, and, and you don't have to put up with a bunch of bullshit, because they're there to do the same thing, have a good time.
Now, they brought up swap meets. I actually have more fun at the, like you said, the little stuff, and I actually have more fun at the swap meets than I did in Daytona. When I was down in Daytona, it was a different time period, but all the congestion, all the people down there was like, what the hell is this, man? And you're right, it's like a Disneyland down there, where you're right, and everything is a Disneyland when you go to those bigger ones. You're not lying. I mean, like I said, you go. I mean, at the smaller ones, you see the smaller venue vendors. The guys that are local. The local tattoo guy that gets permission to get on those private property areas. Those guys that are actually the small mom and pop places that are hurting. You're actually helping them.
Speaking of local, what they're doing out here is a lot of the bike shops. Like we have Cycle Gear, we have a couple Harley shops, a couple mom and pop bike shops. They have what they call a bike night, where just independent riders show up, have free food, and just shoot the shit for the night. And that's it's really cool, actually. Really cool.
Yeah, we got tons of those around here.
Rooster Run, Hollywood Start Your Own Rally, man. We would showed up old school camping and partying. Actually, we had our first annual this year was the Rumble in the Woods.
Rumble in the Woods, yep.
Yeah,
Rooster? When is the Rumble in the Woods, China, next year? September what?
15th.
15th, and we're looking at a place in Kentucky right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Daniel Boone National Forest. It's about 2 hours from West Virginia. Great rolling hills, man. Beautiful scenery. So we're looking out for that next year. So yeah,
Is that BYOB?
yeah, it's BYOB, but you have some. This year we had one of our party attendees, and I think the kids would never get that out of their head. You know, she walked out of there just in a freaking G-string and stuff.
Man, that was hilarious ever.
We wanted old school, man.
So I'm gonna have to take a 2-week vacation for a weekend of partying. Awesome.
Really?
You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, she wore her China Doll's panties, but what it was fun about it was we were all together, and the cops didn't bug us. We had the camp, and it was like it's like what we used to do when it was just in the woods and did what we wanted.
Except J-Man staying in a freaking hotel.
It happens.
I feel triggered.
Hollywood went home, so I don't hear it.
Oh yeah, man. I went from.
Go ahead. I was going to say, so is the definition of biker rallies actually changing now to where we have corporate biker rallies? To where we have old school biker rallies?
I really think
agree.
So. The last, you know what? I just put out a meme where screw political correctness, let them get butthurt, but it don't seem like that. It really don't see it. It don't seem like a lot of the people I knew in the biker scene are around anymore, and it's just this new age biker crap where they'll get butthurt in a heartbeat. I always say I'll put some pictures of some broads on Facebook, and you get the comments where I already got my own lady. Bull, man. If you know what, don't try to sit here and lie to me, man. If that broad was on her knees right in front of you, you'd be out there, throwing some stuff. But I don't think a lot of people have the mentality that the older guys used to have when it came to partying.
When it comes to anything.
Yeah.
Hey, the new age biker makes so much money off of YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. They can afford to do what they want to do. Workers like us have to scrounge for every damn penny that we spend.
Oh, you're damn right.
Yeah,
You're damn right.
He's on that one.
Dark Soul, you know what? He just brought up a good point. The working man, and we're not talking about, 9-to-5ers in an office. I'm talking about hardcore, blue collar workers, which this scene is supposed to be about. I'm not going on in your gray star. You work your ass off too, but I'm talking about the doctors, the lawyers, where the money don't matter to them. And that's where the rallies are starting. The rallies are starting to cater to.
Yep.
What the hell is that?
I'm hearing voices.
Like I said, man, a Rubs Disneyland.
I bust my ass left and right to get what I earned. My parents, my grandfather, they told me if you want something in your life, you got to work your ass off for it.
Yep.
I do have a CVO, a 2018 CVO, but I worked my ass off for that bike. I chipped and did whatever I could to pay off some bills so I could afford that bike. And that's my bread and butter. That's, that was my dream bike for years. My neighbor growing up across, he has had Ultra Classics, and every time he started that sucker up, I was outside watching him, he took me for a ride a couple times. My uncle had dirt bikes. So it's that adrenaline junkie inside of me that, that drives me to do what I need to do to make sure I have fun.
Mm. What about you, Bri? You're younger than most of us. How is it different for you looking at the guys that really paved the way, the older school guys, and the partying they used to do compared to what you're seeing now?
Those are the guys I gravitate towards. Dark Soul brought up a good point. That's what I was told. You want to go get it. You know, regardless of how you make your money, you know, I had to bust my ass for my bike. But it's definitely different. I mean, if you go to a bike night at my dealership, it's definitely a different crowd than it used to be. You know, it's a lot of people that are really looking for the high end bikes, and they're riding more because they want the name and the association of riding a Harley than they do enjoying riding, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that's something that unfortunately Harley's marketing to, you know, with the limited edition bikes and all the premium things, that they're taking it away from people that ride for the enjoyment versus, you know, what they can make money on.
That, my friend, is where I ride a Victory.
Hey, Bedlam,
I'm still butthurt about Victory.
Hey, Bedlam, what have you seen change a lot within the scene? What is something that just bugs you and, you know, pisses you off that you've been seeing that you would have never seen in the early days? When it comes to partying, man.
You know what? I wish the price for every damn thing was cheaper. Like it was in the early days.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You know the clubs. A lot of people don't know. You know the Red Wings and all kinds of different. Now it'd be like, are you crazy? The way these kids look at us. What are you talking about? You want to eat?
Oh no, yeah, the younger crowd don't. I ain't gonna say they don't quite understand, man. They don't. That's why they're trying to hook into us as the older generation. You know, that's all it boils down to. They want to learn, but it's a totally different concept to them. You know, they change it in their own ways.
Well, what do you think, Jay, man? What don't they get?
They don't get life in general. To me, they all think things should be handed to them on a silver frickin' platter.
Yep,
I agree.
Yeah. Oh, that's a definite.
That's a definite there.
Yep.
So you think that's what it is, Bedlam? Is they think that life owes them something?
They deserve it. That's what they feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they deserve it. That's exactly it. You know, but they're going to flip it to their needs.
Mm.
You know, that's all it is.
Well,
Right.
I mean, they can learn from us, but they're just going to flip everything that we, you know, flip it to their needs. To where it's acceptable to them. That's what it boils down to.
I know more young people who have went to jail and came out learning to do different crimes and do them better. So jail has a lot to do with it too. And the court system would throw you in jail and then let you ride out so you can break another crime. You know, go back to jail. So don't get me started. Sorry.
Right.
I'm biting my tongue over here. I'm biting my tongue.
We're talking about.
road there.
We're talking about how the new generation wants something given to them. I want to go around the table, and I don't know about Bri if he went through this, but Gray Star. Then we'll go to again J-Man, Bri, Dark Soul, Bedlam. Your first job, what was your minimum wage?
My first job minimum wage was $3.25, and I picked up golf balls from the local golf course in Oakland, California. 14 years old. I've been working ever since.
What about you, J-Man?
I've been working since I was 14. I started washing dishes at Murray's Family Restaurant for $2.25 an hour.
And there is a reason why I'm asking this, everybody. What about you, Bri?
I want to say my first job, I was like a camp counselor. It's summer, and it wasn't much. I don't remember what it was hourly, but it was not a lot.
What about you, Dark Soul?
11 years old, cutting yards, $20 a yard. I had close
that too.
Yeah, I had close to 20 yards in a week, and my dad would help me out. My first job-wise, as far as the corporate side, was McDonald's at $3.25 an hour.
Bedlam.
Fast food chain, $6 an hour, and before that, cutting grass, and you got paid more than I did, Dark Soul.
I had half-acre lots to cut, man.
I'm
Half acre,
10.
you know?
What about you, China?
I worked at a dry cleaners for $4.25 an hour when I was 16.
$4.25 an hour. And the reason why I brought this up is you have these new jacks, as I call it, and everybody agreed they want stuff handed to them. That's how hard we had to work when we were coming up. And I think that's the reason why bikers are some of the hardest working people out there, is because they know in order to get that Harley or that Gold Wing or whatever you ride, you got to work for it. It's not given to you.
Well, and I think it's a want, not a need. You have to want it. I mean, unless you live in California or somewhere where you can ride 24/7, you know, I choose to buy a used car and a used bike that costs combined what most people's just car cost. You know, life choices.
Now, do you think that translates over to the way these rallies are being run, where it seems like money's being thrown everywhere and people really don't care where the money's going? For example, you got guys pulling up in $200,000-$300,000 RVs, and they wonder why the working man gets pissed.
Hollywood, they don't care where the money comes from.
They just want it.
Yeah,
They just want that money. They don't care where it comes from. They just want
I
it.
don't care.
That's why Harley is pushing their product towards the rubs these days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Do you think that's where
I can't go into Harley right now and go buy a 2021 CVO. I just can't.
Well, didn't they? Okay, here you go. I got a question for you. You know, Brian said something a little bit ago about a new limited edition Harley that just came out. I haven't seen it yet, but they also say, oh, it's fully customized. Now, to me, a bike is customized by the rider, not by Harley. You know, you do whatever you want to your bike to customize it, to make it for yourself. Why is Harley doing that?
Well, because they're doing it for people that want to walk in and throw their check in.
Yeah. So there you go. So actually, they're getting the money for your special, customized, limited edition Harley, and then whatever changes you make, you're going to be spending twice the amount.
You just throw it into the loan, man. Who cares?
Yeah.
Shit.
You need stage 2. Everybody needs it. You can't run with stage 0.
My pocketbook cares.
Let's go back. Let's go backwards here with Bedlam and work our way around. What advice would you give anybody that's choosing to go to a motorcycle rally? Meaning how to act, what to look for, you know, blah blah blah.
How to act? I'm gonna say, yeah, don't be a chicken. You know, actually just go. You won't, and then just make sure you open-minded to anything when you go. You know, because anything positive, it depends on the type of rally that you're looking for. If you're looking for that adult rally where no kids are allowed, you already know what you're going to expect. Okay? If you're looking for the club rallies, so forth, the ABAT rallies, you know, they may be a little different and more high priced to attend, you know, but it just, like I said, every rally is going to be different, and you just have to be open-minded. And please ride your bike in. That's all I ask.
What about you, Dark Soul?
I agree with all of that. Just ride your bike and be yourself and be open-minded.
Yeah.
You do your homework before you go. Plan it out. Just have fun. And just don't do anything stupid that'll get you locked up. You know, that's the main thing. Me personally, it's the ride, get into it. And once I'm there, enjoy what's there. And I see something I like, and that I might get it. If not, I'm just there to have fun and meet people, go up to somebody and, and just start talking and say hello, and have a conversation. I mean, when I came out to the Rumble of the Woods, I went all the way over to J-Man first, met him for the first time in person after being talking online for almost 2 years, J-Man, and then and went to the Rumble after that and got that to meet everybody in person.
Just a quick story. The first rally I attended, didn't know what to expect. Ended up saving a guy on his bike that had broke down. Okay? Dude thanked me, him and his group, so bad, for helping him. He paid for everything my entire weekend. So, and I met a bunch of new guys and friended them up. And we are friends to this day. So that's what it's all about, being open-minded, helping your fellow biker out. If you find one on the road down, and that's it. Just go with the flow of things, man. Live.
What about you, Bri?
Same thing. I mean, find what fits your taste. If you don't want to go to if adult rally is not your style, go to something that fits you. It's the same with riding a bike. Do what makes you happy and be yourself. Don't play cosplay biker and just show up and be you. And like you said, talk to people. I've met some of the best people in my life have been through riding, and it's been through just the strangest, run-ins with experience of people. I think that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. J-Man.
I'll start off by saying everything that they said, but I want to add, while you're at the rally, don't drink too much. Don't mess with the law. And wear your helmet if you wear one.
Gray Star.
Ditto everything they said except for, say, Sturgis. Bring cash, because if you get harassed by the cops, you got to pay cash to get out.
Daytona's the same way.
Yeah. 2, hold your liquor. If you drink, you better be able to hold your liquor. Don't get too drunk, because you'll end up having to deal with the number 1 I just said. So, and then 3, like everybody else said, be yourself and have fun, man.
Right on. Okay, one more question before we get over to Discord. We'll go around one more time. Bedlam, what if those that are nervous about going to a rally because they're afraid maybe their bike might be stolen, what kind of things should they do to try to prevent that? And this is this is a big thing at Daytona and Sturgis.
But see, that's the problem. You make sure you got insurance. But me and Jay, man, just had this discussion. I have never heard of anybody getting their bike stolen, because usually we all park our bikes together, so forth, and everybody watches everybody else's bike. But if you're going to one of these bigger events, J-Man, I guess, buy a horseshoe lock, So, I mean, I have never personally had the experience. I know they make brake locks and so forth. Either that or get you a tracker for your bike. Security, make sure you got a security system on it. But me, I've never had that issue. So, I usually park next to guys that I know, or either that, or if there's somebody new at the event and, it's something new for me, I try to get to know the guys around me, that way I know my property's safe and they know me and so forth. That way nobody gets screwed over. That's the way it's all supposed to be.
Well, you want to stand there for a few minutes and let barmaids and shit see you standing there, so they know that that's your bike, and if somebody else comes up to you, like you said, talk to them.
Yeah. Yep.
What about Dark? So this would be the final question. What about those that are scared to go to rallies because they don't ride a Harley? I've heard that time and time again.
To me personally, is you ride what you want to ride. The whole person, the deal with the Harley part of it is you got to know a little bit of the history of it. I mean, you got to look. After World War II, veterans came back over. They were being dissed and stuff, and we just got done with fighting the Japanese at that time, and that was the whole purpose of Harley. They didn't want a Jap bike, period. But in today's age, you got a Honda Goldwing, ride it. You got
Yamaha,
Suzuki. I mean, it gets you on twos and gets you out on the wind. That's all that matters.
There you go.
Well said.
I don't care if you ride the moped.
Awesome.
If you're on 2 wheels,
There you go. Shout out to Code of the Streets, rock on, man, and shout out to everybody
Coda's my way.
in the chat room. I put the link, China, and the rest of the crew here be over in Discord if you want to come by and say hi in the general voice chat. What's your final thoughts on everything, Gray Star, and I'll go around.
Final thoughts, man. I love being a biker. Don't have to be in the club to be a biker. Go meet some people. You don't want to be in a club, that's cool. Find some cats to ride with. But just get on twos and enjoy the wind, man.
Rock on, man. How about you, J-Man?
like
By the
who
way,
you want to ride
J-Man-
with.
By the way, J-Man has a YouTube channel.
You got to be in the wind, like he said, like Gray Star said. If you're not in the wind, you're sitting still.
Yep.
Bry.
Amen.
I say ride your ride. I always tell people live your obituary. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it today. Get out there and it doesn't matter what you ride. If you're worried about that, you got bigger issues. Just enjoy it. Live life.
Yeah.
Dark Soul.
Life's too short, man. You only got one life, man. Live it to the fullest. Enjoy it. The bike to me is my wind therapy. It gets me away from everything and kind of zones out. I got brothers I ride with that, we're not in a club. We just enjoy getting together and hanging out, drink beer, and
There you go.
chill by a bonfire and get on the bikes and go for a whole ride. And that's what really matters. And the rally is just the bonus part, to go to some of them. But they have become very commercialized. It's on my bucket list on a good bit of these I haven't been to. So, like I said, just enjoy it. Life's too damn short.
Rock on. Bedlam. Final word.
I get all the guys beat me to it. All I gotta say is, just ride. Ride hard, ride fast, keep it going. Enjoy the life, enjoy the win. Keep chrome side up, rubber side down. That's it.
Rock and roll.
One more thing. Make sure you meet people at the rallies because you never know the friends you're going to make.
You're damn right. You know what? Everybody on Discord, it's got real close, and it was awesome at the Rumble in the Woods. So, yeah, get out there and meet people. My final thoughts on everything is this is an awesome panel. The Independent Ryderz. It's going to be Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on Insane Throttle. Immediately afterwards, like tonight, myself will be over there with China Doll and the general video chat, having some fun over there talking. How about you, China?
Hey, what? Yeah, what the heck, man? I was like ignored this whole time. I'm sad. That's so not fair.
Well, you won't be ignored now. You're going over to general chat and you'll be able to be seen. But anyway, everybody, I appreciate having you guys on and all that good stuff. We're going to have some fun over there. What's up, J-Man?
Thanks for having us, man. Really
Yeah, man.
appreciate it.
Hollywood.
Oh, well,
Next week.
yeah, well,
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, thank you, Hollywood.
Thank you very much. I do have a TikTok. If you want to follow me, it's Dark Soul Trucker. If you want to hook me up and just follow, be nice to have some more friends out there.
There you go.
Take care.
Bedlam, what were you going to say?
I was going to say thank you, Hollywood, having me on. Also, I got a TikTok. Look for Vicious Intent. vicious_intent. And I got a few videos out there.
Brady Bunch. This is like the Brady Bunch.
There's Alice. 2 Alice in the middle. China dog.
Awesome. All right, guys, I'll see you over on the Discord server here. China Doll has to say hi. She has to say hi.
Hey.
Ron, we'll have to hook up later.
All right, I'll see you guys over on Discord in about 5 minutes.
Thanks
See you guys.
watching.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Have a good
Thanks,
weekend, bud.
everybody, for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.